All right, ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are taking on the Tulare Thunderbowl with the High Limit Sprint Car Series. This place is one of the most intimidating racetracks in the country, and in order to be parked in victory lane here, you must get up on the wheel.
Just getting a little water on the racing surface. We're not too far from getting the night underway. It's going to be a hot one here at the Thunderbowl. Over 100 degrees today in the Central Valley. And it looks like we're looking at, maybe 30 to 40 410 sprint cars, so we're guaranteed a good show with High Limit. And I wanted to walk up here mainly just because you never know what this racetrack is going to throw at you. So it's nice to study it throughout the day because I've seen it, bone slick, bottom to top, even from like literally when we first get out there. I've also seen it so fast and rough and choppy and have character where guys can't keep all four tires on the ground. It's just one of those racetracks. But anyway, we're going to be getting the night underway here shortly, looking for a good consistent run with the 18T from the drop of hot laps all the way through tonight's checkered flag. And here shortly we'll be getting in our fire suits and then rolling into engine heat, hot laps, and qualifying. Qualifying is complete here at the Tulare Thunderbowl. Got 31 total cars. I think we were 27th or 28th quick. Went out pretty late, so that probably didn't help our case, but I think there was a couple guys that went out late that still shot towards the top 10. Just felt like we hot lapped and we were just kind of okay, and then we made changes in qualifying and honestly didn't really feel like we got much better. I'll tell you, man, this place is just so hard to feel comfortable and so hard to go fast at, and I feel like when I was in the cushion and when I was kind of where I actually wanted to be on the racetrack, I was just snug and I had a hard time finishing the corner. But then also when I was kind of off the cushion or when I would enter, like I didn't like how my car acted either. So we'll just have to make changes now to now move through into the heat race. Again, this place is it's just so difficult. The Thunderbowl, man, it's probably the toughest racetrack I feel like on the West Coast, and it's starting to get slick like below the cushion, but where it's wet and it's thick and the sun's still out. So really going to keep an eye on it to see if it is going to change or if it's going to hang out, the grip's going to be there, if it's going to slicken off. Like, we just don't really know. So we're trying to make our best educated guesses with our setup and then now move into the heat race where we're going to have to pass cars.
From that outside front row starting position, so we'll see if it works out for the Northport, Florida driver.
race is now complete. We started 7th, got 1 spot, finished 6th, just 1 out of the transfer. Needed to get a better start, just got screwing around, you know, for that 6th spot, and then by the time I got clear of it, you know, those guys were half a straightaway ahead of me, so my heat race was just trying to start running them down and thought we made some okay laps. Obviously, if you're new, but for you guys that have been around a while, you know, qualifying such a big deal in wing sprint car racing, so when you start behind like your whole night, you're just trying to catch up. I feel like for us, we made actually one valuable change there that really just felt like it calmed the race car down some, to where I didn't feel as felt how I felt earlier, where you're just, you know, Tulare, you always feel a little out of control, so you just got to stay settled so you can run good consistent laps, get your race car in the right position, and roll around. And when you don't feel as good, it's hard to get around this place because you feel so much in the car. Like there's a nice little hole into turn 1, it's pretty slick in 3 and 4, there's a good cushion that's already built like at a pretty good angle to the fence. So now we're gonna have to fight through this B main event. We're gonna keep making changes, throw some gear at it, just try to see if we can almost get a little bit more stuck so we can, you know, try to use as many lanes as possible here to move forward.
With Hail Mary on Justin Peck's High Roller playlist, it's Dason Pursley, Brenham Crouch, 2 young drivers. Wired down the back stretch, that might be the line. They're coming to the white flag this time. Mike and Tanner Holmes get there on the last lap.
Tanner Holmes had something figured out that last time as they're both gathering in on Dominic Gordon.
Here they go into turn 1. Tanner Holmes trying to move on Dason Pursley on the final lap. He's going to have one last opportunity. Full send mode into 3 and 4. Brenham Crouch gets the win. Dominic Selzy second. Dominic Gordon third. And at the line, Tanner Holmes steals it away from Dason Pursley.
Just got some tear-offs on, guys. I came in, I said, did that at least look cool? We started 6th and got to 4th on literally the last lap. Be cool. I want to do cool stuff like that for wins and whatnot, but no, good that we got in the show. Racetrack was kind of difficult to pass. Everyone was running down low, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to get by these guys if I stay in line. And I feel like all night, you know, we've just been recovering from our qualifying, so I've been trying to push myself. It's hard at Tulare to, you know, you can easily overdrive your race car and put yourself in bad positions. You don't want to have your focus there, but it's something like you're just aware of. I've raced here so much, and finally just got up on the wheel and like kind of felt where I'm like, okay, I just kept pushing myself to get a little more comfortable with the wall, even though no one was up there, and figuring out like, where do I need to be at? How do I need to get on top of it to make enough speed so I could get off the corner, because that's where they were getting me off the bottom. You know, I could make time to the center because it's so slick on the bottom of 3 and 4, but on exit they kind of get me, so I got enough speed there at the end where I just got him as it was slicking it off. Anyway, racetrack's actually, I think, gonna be racy. It's gonna be interesting coming from so far back, so at this point we got in the show, really happy about that. That's good for our team, man. Get start money, get more laps, an opportunity now to move forward. All that stuff's very important, so I'm happy with that. That was, like I said, feel like a sigh of relief, because that B was going to be tough to get through, and we accomplished it, and now we have another chance to make our race car better. And I think as we went through the night, like, we're creeping up on where we need to be, so now we're dumping a bunch of fuel in it, and we got another shot. Well, guys, we're rolling off 24th, so there's only one direction to go. More than anything, just run a smart, clean race, keep our head on a swivel, and watch ahead. We got a long A main event ahead of us. The biggest thing is just try to get moving early and, you know, run a good, smart race and kind of have a game plan and follow that as we hopefully pick off some cars and move forward. But no matter what, glad we're in the show, snuck in and making the most of this.
Let's go racing up at turn number 4.
can't complain with that. I honestly almost got 10th at the end. That would have only been the little cherry on top. But we survived. Scary Tulare is what they call it. I guess if you're not from around here. 24th to 11th. Again, got some freebies, but also did pass some cars and just really had to take it slow. Like, all right, guy goes high, I go low. Like, just move around and try to still keep good pace, even as I'm, you know, basically trying to make all these different lines work. And I think we made some good adjustments. Carly and I were like, we got to be good early. Otherwise, you're just, you know, if we have all these green flag laps, we're just going to get lapped, and that's no fun, and then our race is over. So we did some stuff to be good early, and I think that probably just killed us a little bit late. Like, I just felt like my car wasn't getting down proper at the end, and I didn't have as much stick. Like, it was easy for me to slide across the track. I definitely would get into the corner even with my wing back, and I just kind of slam and just skate until I hit the curb or had to wait on the grip. It's crazy. There's actually still some mud, you know, honestly, not a ton, but our car's fairly muddy for, you know, just running a feature. There's just where there was grip, and that's what everyone was kind of fighting for. But at the same time, you had to be very patient as you ran those lanes. So again, I didn't run a perfect race by any means. I know my dad was kind of mentioning I honestly probably could have ripped the top a little bit longer. I just felt like I wasn't getting down the straightaways good. In Tulare, you have to get down the straightaways. If you're spinning, it doesn't matter if you're making good. I mean, you got to make more corner speed to get down the straightaways, but if you're not making speed in general, you just lose momentum lap after lap, and eventually someone's going to attack you. So I just tried to switch things up because I figured, you know, obviously we have nothing to lose. We got to just do what we can to keep moving forward. So if we could avoid, you know, some of those areas where we stalled out, maybe could have had a shot to be well in the top 10. But again, no complaints. Plus 13. So I think we were hard chargers tonight. But again, that's not what we're here for. We're here to, you know, want to be up front and win races. So we just have more homework to do, and if we can get our speed early in the night, you know, obviously our speed late definitely shows up. AT&T is in the box. We now have an over 4-hour drive to Placerville, which we'll be doing tomorrow. Again, leaving tonight, you know, wishing that we could have ended with a top 10 run. Still to go plus 13, 24th to 11th, and also to get in the show. Now, of course, we expected to show up and be in the A-main event, but with us having a slow start to the night, being one spot out, sneak in the B-main, and honestly, for me, like, kind of a situation where I told you guys to be faster, you got to get up on the wheel and literally just charge 3 and 4 and get almost on top of the cushion and just make so much speed. I was proud that we were able to do that and get my car where it felt comfortable there in the B to do so. And then in the feature, also use the top, use the bottom, and really make some good passes. So overall, a big thank you to Carly, my mom and dad, Matt. That was our team tonight. We were a little understaffed, you would say. Carly mainly focusing on the car. You know, Matt helps with my content and whatnot, and he was jumping in where needed. My dad was doing some fueling and stuff. My mom was running the merchandise trailer. All hands on deck. I tried to even jump in a little bit while I could, but also still work on just being a driver. So we're just kind of scrambling tonight, doing everything that we could, and hoping to have a little better game plan tomorrow to where we get our car closer to qualify good, and that makes your night so much easier. Now, it was a little late because we had quite a few fans after the races, you know, here at the trailer, but I did get a chance to go up once the lights were off and look at the racetrack. I know the lighting ain't great, but literally the cushion builds on the wall at like a 45-degree angle. It's nuts. There's not a lot of places in the country that literally build on the wall like this place. The Thunderbowl is unique for many reasons, but this is the main one. And there's definitely an art to running a cushion that develops like this. This place always amazes me, and we'll be back here now, I think 3, 4, 5 more races before the end of the year between the AT&T and the Tarleton 21. So Tulare's a place we would like to conquer again like we did earlier in 2025, and I think we got the speed, and especially later in the night. Just got to work on putting our whole package together. But thank you guys so much for watching. That's 11th place at the Tulare Thunderbowl with High Limit. We're loaded up. We're going to be heading down the road, and we're going to continue through our 2025 season in this West Coast swing here in the fall with High Limit as we work our way towards the Pacific Northwest. So we'll see you guys all in the next one. Thank you for riding along with us for our journey and being here for every second of the good, the bad, and the ugly in dirt racing. We'll see you in the next video. Deuces.